What's going on, guys? This is your boy, John the Liquidator, coming back with another video. It looked like Stephanie White is back in the headlines after wrapping up another interview detailing how the Indiana Fever is going to look for this 2025 season. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. God, so Stephanie White has done yet another damn interview. I mean, man, I don't think a coach ever been on a media tour the way Stephanie White has been. I mean, she's doing all this talking, hey, man, her make it far in the playoffs, bro. I ain't doing no faking, bro, because she's spilling all the beans to the world, how they coming, how they gonna look, what she been working on with Caitlin, the whole 9 yards. I mean, she's giving teams the heads up of a lifetime, dog. Now, I'm all for it because it's nothing but content, but at the end of the day, you don't want to have this many damn interviews. I mean, Stephanie White arguably has had over 10 damn interviews since she's been the Indiana Fever head coach. I ain't doing no faking, bro. Let me know if I'm tripping. Now, I'm all for her talking and stuff, but to detail the things she be detailing, I'll be out to scratch my head on that one, man. I'll be like, golly, man, why you got to tell everything? Oh, now, with all that being said, one of the biggest concerns going into the 2025 season is the Indiana Fever offense. What type of offense is she going to run? Is it going to be a motion offense? Is it going to be a read and react offense? What offense is it going to be? Is Kayla going to be on the ball? Is Kayla going to be off the ball? What we finna see. And every time she do a damn interview, guess what? But as of lately, man, she been kind of sticking to Kayla Clark being on the ball. I don't know. I mean, being off the ball. I don't know, but guys, we finna react to some of this thing, man. Roll the footage.
Such a mashup of unique personalities, and I'll also say established storylines for each of these players. Like, there aren't some players that like haven't figured out what they're about, or like the storyline hasn't been created for them in the W. And you've got all of this coming into your locker room. So, season's on the way. What are going to be your first priorities? Maybe even exercises in creating common ground and meshing this team.
Yeah, I think one of the early conversations, for us as a coaching staff has just been about connection and building a relationship and, approaching the players who were in that locker room a year ago in, hey, like, what is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that we can help you? Like, you don't know what you don't know. Right. And most of those guys were pretty young. Certainly pretty young in terms of playoff experience. And then approaching them in sort of a self-scout way, like, this is what we would do to you when we played you. So these are the things that we want to work on. So first establishing with those players that had been here, then continuing to work on our communication and relationship building. Because we know at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what if you don't have connection, if you don't build relationship, and if you don't build trust. And so we've really started from a foundational level of that. And then it was really important who we added in free agency and in the offseason fit who we already had. I mean, look, our big three with Caitlin and Kelsey and Aaliyah, like, you got to have certain kinds of vets that fit around them. That, number one, fill the gaps that we need in our lineups, in our rosters. But number two, have accomplished multiple things that can lead them in a way that they haven't been led before, but also understand where they fit in the scope of what the Indiana Fever is about now and what we're about in the future, and that give us a chance to compete for championships. And I think that Amber and Kelly did an outstanding job. I mean, certainly
they crushed it.
I mean, they crushed it. They did. You think about bringing in Natasha Howard, who was drafted by the Indiana Fever when I was an assistant coach, was traded by the Indiana Fever when I was the head coach, just went out and won multiple championships.
So I want to pause here real quick. Judging off this, it sounds like Amber Cox and Kelly was the ones who really assembled this team. Not so much of Stephanie White. It was Amber and Kelly that kind of put their basketball thinking caps on and assembled this team. Judging off what she's saying they are the ones who did it. Let's get back to the footage.
After that, continue to become, absolutely, to continue to become one of the greatest players in the history of our league, played every different kind of role. is soft-spoken. So when she speaks, you listen because it matters, right? Gives us a little bit different look at that position than we've had before. Dewana Bonner, who again, winner, right, has won at every level, competed and won it for a championship in Phoenix. Competed for championships with us in Connecticut. Versatility, which is critical for our system and what we want. Ultra competitive, and but also like a mother hen, right? So can be that one that can like push you and challenge you, but also like embrace you and hug you and help you understand all the things that go along with the ups and downs and the long season that we have, this sprint marathon of a season. And can knock down a shot, can spread the floor, can do all the things that we need to do. Sydney Colson, a backup point guard, was really important for us. Again, a winner at every level, different kind and vibes and different kind of leadership, like not afraid to speak her mind, like has been through the rigor and the battles, has played, has not played, has been in rotation, has not been in rotation, was called upon when Chelsea Gray goes down with injury in the finals, and ultimately helps them win the series after not having played a lot throughout the course of the season. So has played various roles and understands, how important it is to stay ready. Is one of those players who can nip things in the bud in the locker room without it having to get to us as coaches. Builds our depth on the perimeter, allows us a little bit more versatility with Caitlin and Kelsey and what we do with them. Really important to get somebody of her caliber. Certainly for us. Sophie Cunningham, toughness, right? Winner, ability to play multiple positions, has played with tough competitors. I mean, was essentially mentored.
I think this is so great what Stephanie's doing right here. She's going down a line that's telling us each of the players' attributes that they bring to the team. Not just what they're doing on the basketball court, them as a person, them what they stand for on the basketball court. But let's fast forward it real quick. Let's check out some other things here. Because this is something that stuck out to me. It's utilizing Aaliyah Boston. Let's first play.
That 2-player game between Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, by the end of the season, Steph, it really had a lot of growth and rhythm and flow to it. So what do you envision, that part of the game, especially Aaliyah Boston here in year 2 of them together?
Yeah, I think number one, yes, you're absolutely right. I love the way that they work together in the 2-man game. They got so good at reading one another. I think Aaliyah is an outstanding facilitator as well from that post position. So we're going to use her a little bit more like a hub, right? Like a little bit more like a Jokic in how she gets the ball, and whether that's in the trail, in a lot of our stuff in flow, or whether that's on the block. I don't want her to have to work as hard, like one-on-one. I don't want her to have to just, pound and body and dribble.
Now, is it me, or is she telling the other teams how she finna use Aaliyah Boston? Not saying that this is fact, but this is looking real spooky. I just think Stephanie White just be talking and she don't be understanding, like she realized this is nationally televised or going to be all over the internet. Like, this is kind of helping the other team, bro. I just got to keep it real.
In a one-on-one situation to get shots. We want to make her life easier. How can we get her touches at the rim where she can just go right into her finishes? How can we get her touches off the block where then we can run off-ball action and she can be a facilitator? Then she can get into other actions that allow her to move after she's gotten rid of it to get some easy buckets, as opposed to just everybody knows a strong side pick and roll is coming. So a little bit more movement, a little bit more usage in her in terms of facilitating. And a little bit more versatility in her game. I mean, challenging her to become a consistent, doesn't have to be high volume, but a consistent 3-point shooter, like looking for those, being able to use other aspects of her game outside of just pound.
Now, this is something I had said for the longest. Like, I know people want to talk about the way she do screens and the way she facilitate herself inside the paint, but I said this a long time ago that Aaliyah Boston needs to develop a 3-point shot to be successful in the W. I've been saying that. That's great that she has said that, because I said most bigs nowadays can shoot threes, bro. A lot of them can shoot threes. She needs to add the 3-point in her shot, and hopefully this season we see that 3-point shot, man. But that's all I'm gonna play, man. I ain't finna help all the other teams get all of the tangibles from the Indiana Fever. But I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section about this interview Stephanie White had. And do y'all think it's too many damn interviews? Because I think it is, man. Next time, shake the haters off. I'm out of here. Peace. Shake the haters off.